To that. Yeah. Good morning to everybody. Hopefully everybody's had a good morning. At least a good start to the morning. So, hopefully too many people ain't snowed in. I know a lot of people are like super snowed in right now. For some reason my chat doesn't want to show up on this one. I don't know why that is. Can't see the chat on my YouTube for some reason, but I don't know why that is. Not entirely sure why that is. I'm drinking way too much coffee. That's a sure thing, but um I guess the topic we could talk on, I guess if any vets are in the chat and stuff and they got any questions or anything they want to ask pertaining to what's going on, go ahead. Basically would be the best thing to say. Um, anything to do with it. Anything because it's an important topic to have conversations on. It's an important topic to keep on realizing what's going on because the thing is there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things still ongoing. Um, but that's the thing with this whole thing ongoing thing is just like it's trying to figure out like how do you how can I put it? The interactions currently it's kind of difficult to comprehend the conversation basically being had at the moment that has to deal with veterans. Because veterans right now at this moment are not being, they mostly get used as a political chip, which is mostly the biggest thing. Most veterans are being used right now as a political chip, and then for most, they don't understand that it's a political uh, position that they are putting themselves in. For others, it's the fact that they don't, some don't really pay attention. Like a lot of people aren't paying attention to all the changes and all the stuff that's ongoing right now. So that's one of the bigger things because there's a lot of changes going on besides the fact that they were trying to do the whole medication thing. And people need to realize as veterans, if you truly support veterans as you say you do, you would have to understand the fact that this is something that you have to understand that this as a United States veteran, it's not simple to go through the process. The process is not an easy process. Is it? It's not something that just gets handed to you, where a lot of people assume that's the case in point. A lot of stuff doesn't get handed to you as a United States veteran. You have to obtain it. You have to know what it's about. You have to know what you're dealing with. You have to know. Good afternoon, Cobra. Um, you have to understand those different ramifications that come as a United States veteran. It's not something that just gets handed to you. You still have to go through the process of serving this country. Once you serve this country, you're at that point. After that, that's when becoming a veteran is a thing. You still have to serve the country. You still have to be a part of the United States military. You still have to take part in it. If you don't take part in it, you don't really understand the difference of it. You don't really understand the mental anguish, the mental anxiety, um, the traumatic environments you can be in. You don't understand the sacrifices a lot of service members make. Because for a regular day person, they don't understand or visualize or get the capability of seeing those things. Because for most, it's just the same. I wouldn't say it's the same thought process, but for most, they don't want to acknowledge it because they don't have a way of comprehending what it is. Most don't understand what it is to leave their family for months at a time. That's something that a lot of service members deal with on a frequent basis. If you get deployed, that means you're leaving your family and everything you know behind. Um, but the attack that veterans continue to have against them, it's kind of ridiculous. The amount of pushback that you see from people just trying to say, especially I would say it's Republicans. Democrats aren't any better. Democrats, they're both the same piece of shit at times, depending, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you fall on. But at the same time, it's just like with the Democratic Party, you've had changes, you've had policies that have come out to actually benefit veterans. Whereas when you have Republicans in place, most of the time what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that veterans make too much or they obtain too much. But they never give the full picture of what's going on. So a lot of people hear this and see this and they say, oh, veterans are making a lot of money. Veterans get too many benefits. Veterans get this, veterans get that. But you never hear the conversation of what the veteran had to do to get that. So it's like the process of it's easy for everyone to talk about, oh, veterans got this or they achieved that, but it's always without the fact that they talk about how it was that they got to the point, how they reached that point, how it is that they got the disability, how it is that they got what they got. It was just like you serve this country, which only 1% of this country ever decides to serve it. So that alone is a big factor when it comes to, hey, not everybody wants to serve this country in the military. The people that did served. They joined, they served this country and they fought for this country. Some gave up their lives for this country. So understanding that aspect of it is different for some people because some people don't understand that. Um, if you didn't grow up in a military family, you don't really see that. You don't really see the heartache. You don't see the you don't see the issues that veterans go through. You don't see the issues that the families go through. That's not something you experience if you don't have a military family. If you didn't grow up in a military community or around military service members or have somebody that served in a prior war or hey, maybe somebody that got drafted into Vietnam. If you don't have that around you, you will not understand the consequences and the process of being a United States veteran. So when you have an administration that wants to portray it as they make too much, they do too much, they get too much, it's kind of crazy because then at the same time, it's never those people that actually serve this country. It's never those people that have sent anybody that's a part of their family to defend this country. It's always the person that has never gone to war, never been deployed, never put on a uniform, and they're always the ones that have some sort of rhetoric that is always a negative vibe. As you can see with this latest change, this administration just tried to sneak in something that would be a detriment to veterans of now, veterans before, and veterans after. They tried to sneak that in. And I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fall on. They literally just tried to sneak in something that was going to be a detriment to veterans. There's no way around that. There's no sugarcoating that. I don't care what political side you are, there's no defending that. What this administration just did, what Secretary Doug Collins did by trying to input that into the Code of Federal Regulation, basically changed and would have changed going forward how veterans are evaluated. Now, one of the main things about that is that it wasn't publicized. It wasn't a big notification. It wasn't a big standout thing. This was something that was done and just inputted into a regulation, and people were just going to end up dealing with it. People were not going to be able to understand that. They weren't going to see it because they wouldn't have known until they got a CMP exam and then they found out that they got a lower rating because of the medication. Or there's a possibility that they weren't even going to tell people that they got a lower rating because of medication that they were taking or it being managed. Because if the CFR states that, that's just part of the ruling. That's not part of the actual evaluation. So you would have to see that. So hindering veterans compensation due to the fact that they are being medicated or they are getting assistance is enough of an issue to show that they feel that too many veterans are, I guess, using the system or being compensated. They would rather these veterans be out working, is the thing basically. They would rather these veterans be out working like they didn't work and give their time to the military when they did. You want to have them work, you want to have them better, which I understand the whole thought process of making veterans better, making them be able to succeed, making them, giving them the accessibility to stuff. But then it's a whole contradiction when you decide that taking away the health care, laying off the people that would help with assisting veterans get better is taken away. So you want to talk about medication taking care of people, but that's the thing, it's medication. Most of the time, most veterans are on medication is not because they want it. There's no, I can assure you 95% of veterans probably hates the fact that they are being prescribed some sort of medication to take. But this administration seems to be leaning towards that thought process of, hey, the more medication we can give people, the better it will be, I guess. You know, you got Trump RX now. Then all of a sudden you have Trump RX or you have something like that. And then all of a sudden you have more prescriptions. So, oh, we're lowering the prices on prescription drugs. We're lowering the price on this. And it was just like, y'all got to see how that's being tied into it because that's what they want to push. They want shit. This shit gets pushed regardless, even without this administration. There's always been a pharmaceutical based thing for veterans. It's always take this pill, this medication will work for you, this medication will do this medication will do that, and it's a continuation of just medications till you have, like I've said before, a pharmacy in your own pantry or in your cabinet or in your bathroom cabinet. It's just like medication all over. And that's all you have. But trying to remove people's, because the thing is the thing that makes me happy about this is the fact that one thing that veterans actually agreed upon and didn't really care for whether they were Republican or Democrat was because of the fact that their compensation was going to be taken away. But the thing is the part that disgusts me is the fucking part that, you know, the regulation is still there. The regulation hasn't been improved. The regulation hasn't changed. So the information and basically the thought process of them wanting to do this is still in the Code of Federal Regulation. Now, no matter if they say they're going to halt it or pause it, no matter what, it is still part of the regulation. It's the same way with the no shaving profiles. It's still in the regulation. Until the regulation doesn't change, you would still have to have a profile or a medical reason to grow a beard. Otherwise, that would be out of regulation. It's the same thing with that because the regulation still states that medication will be put into it. I'm taking a break today, Salgi. I ain't feel like doing. I didn't feel like working on that spreadsheet. I was working on it last night too. I need a break. I need a break. I've done. I've created a lot within it. I'm still building it. Like I said, that's gonna be a work in progress. That's gonna take some time for me to finalize that whole spreadsheet. But at least I know when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. So I'm not too concerned with that. How you doing, Sagi? And that's the thing. It's just like here. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just end this one on that live. That YouTube I'm gonna end. So I'm not gonna have it on here. So end this one. It's gonna come on, Saga. You already knew that was gonna happen. You already knew that's what they were going for, and that's what they were attempting. It's basically another way of distracting people. Because the thing is like I said, it's the older generation that they're going for. They're not going after the younger generation. Doesn't care about most of this stuff anymore. The younger generation don't care about no aliens. Those folks got bills. Ain't nobody give a damn if they don't care who flying into town. You know what I'm saying? They don't care who flying into town. The whole concern right now is just like, yo, I still got to pay my bills. It was just like, yeah, most people, it's like a difference in the generations because the prior generations are basically like, oh my God, there's aliens because, they grew up with the whole thought process that there was no such thing. They grew up with the thought process that there was no such thing as aliens. You were crazy if you thought there was aliens. And now, so imagine to release this much information to a prior generation that was basically brainwashed into telling them that you're crazy if you think it exists. That's the thing. You have a whole generation that was grown up being told that if you believed in aliens, you were crazy. That's blasphemy. That's nonsense. So now imagine it's like I said, it's just like look at all those conspiracy theorists that were thinking about aliens back in the day. Now that all got confirmed. Imagine that. Imagine you were a conspiracy theory back in the day talking about aliens and all of a sudden this shit got confirmed. Now they're probably going to every one of their buddies and shit like, I told your ass. I told your ass I wasn't crazy. I told you I seen that in 1983 where I seen that thing fly across the sky and they ain't crazy. They don't sound crazy no more, do they? That should sound legit to me. If they're saying they're gonna come out with it, it's legit now. It's not like before. Before it was just like you crazy. You didn't see nothing. There's no proof. Prove it that you saw something. Now motherfuckers got cameras and everything showing it. So but I can have that there. So I don't need this. Um, what you up to today, Soggy? The fuck is this? Nice. I'm just chilling, man. I might end up cutting this short and taking a nap. just got my fucking back readjusted, and that shit always fucking like gets me tired of shit. I'm drinking. This is my second cup of coffee. I don't like drinking 2 cups of coffee, and that shit always puts me out. So the state of address is at 9 p.m. Eastern time. You watching this, Augie? What's up, Gina? State of the Union, state of address, whatever this dumbass is gonna talk for a couple of hours and say Biden. You know what? We should probably play like a game, all right? Should probably play a game. Every time Donald Trump says Joe Biden, you take a shot. Fucked up. Create a bingo card. I don't know. Well, the thing is that the thing is Sagi, it's like you can only keep using that rhetoric for so much time. You could only continue to use the same rhetoric without people actually noticing that you full of shit. That's the thing. Good morning, political. Like that's the thing. Most people are taking their time, but it's just like you can only use that bullshit for so long. Why's my camera doing that? What the fuck? You could only use that bullshit for so long because it's just like is that the thing is that right now he can't use that excuse anymore. You can't, as a Republican or as a MAGA, you can't use the excuse about the Democrats doing this or the Democrats doing that when it's the Republicans that have been in power now for a whole year. Republicans have been in power for an entire year. And it's just like the first, remember the excuses they were using? Oh, he's only been president for like 3 months. But he had already signed like 300 fucking executive orders. So I need to get rid of this IQ shit because this should be fucking pissing me off. I'd be crashing like that. It's just like, no, the Democrats have no fault at for the reason that the shit isn't changing or thing isn't stuff isn't upgrading or stuff like that. It's like none of that can just continue to be blamed on Democrats anymore. You just can't. It's like they're running out of that same lie that they keep on replicating all the time. It's like, oh, the Democrats don't want to do this, the Democrats don't want to do that. And then you have the fact that it's just like every time they try to demonize the Democrats for doing something, it's nothing but Republicans that get caught with the same shit. And that's what's messing them up. It was just like every time they'd be like, oh my God, um, the Democrats are committing fraud here, and then next thing you know, it's a Republican caught on fraud for this, and that. And it's just like you see it also with like Fox News and stuff like that. That's what I say. It's just like It's different on each platform because the thing is the older community likes to watch. They're on Facebook. They don't do Twitter. They don't do TikTok as much. They don't do that stuff. So it doesn't get shown as much. But if you go on Facebook, the rhetoric is the same. It's nothing but fucking MAGA publications rampantly talking fucking political nonsense. That's what it basically is. That's what Facebook has turned into. It's just political fucking nonsense. It's just like plain bullshit just being regurgitated and stated. Like, look at the fact Nick Shirley made another fucking video. Nick Shirley just made another fucking video. And these dumbass MAGA fucking Republicans fucking believe the nonsense he's spewing. Nick Shirley was proven to be a fraud after the whole Minnesota thing where he was lying about the Minnesota shit. Now he's supposedly in California uncovering fraud, and this dude gets publicity. It seems to me like the Republican and MAGA party is like, they're trying to make it that Nick Shirley blows up. Not in a literal sense, but like in a social media sense. They are trying to make it that Nick Shirley becomes larger than anything because they need another face. They need another face to put as, you know, one of those right-wing conservative, we're finding fraud, we do investigative work nonsense, and that's what it seems like the Republican Party is doing. Because you mean to tell me that even after the fraud that was happening in Minnesota was proven to be already taken care of, already justice, already people in court, already people convicted, you still publicize this dude? Now this dude is talking about fraud in California or voter fraud in California, and everyone continues to believe him. Like, yo, we just disproved that this idiot was lying. Nick Shirley was proven to be a liar. Plain bold-faced liar. It was proven. And now all of a sudden y'all still want to give him a platform to still come up with stuff and come up with another bunch of lies? Like, that's crazy to me that you have it. You have a person that has lied, been caught for lying, been shown he was lying, and then you're going to put him again to keep on lying? Like, the latest lie now is voter fraud. The only voter fraud that has been found. Now, you know they're not going to say that, my black. You know they ain't going to say that. They're going to be like, oh my God, this is the most watched State of the Union address ever. Record numbers, record numbers, record number. You know, some dumb shit. You know he's going to say the same shit like 4 times because he has to like try to convince himself that it's real. It's the same fucking shit every single time. You know it's gonna come. You know it's gonna say this was the most watched thing. Watch him say some stupid shit like this State of the Union was watched more than the Super Bowl. Watch some dumb shit like that. Yes, I did hear that Congress members were gonna bring Epstein victims as guests. That shit does nothing for me. That's just theatrics. That is what you call theatrics. That doesn't, that shit doesn't, no. I don't care. It was like, it's sad because you using these victims as props. That's what bothers me. You using survivors and victims of this fucking deranged asshole as props. I don't, I really don't care. It's not gonna hurt his ego. That man don't give a fuck. That man ain't gonna care. He's not talking to them directly. He's gonna watch him say it's still a hoax right in front of the victims. Like, he don't give a shit. He knows he's not gonna. He's gonna. This dude is gonna die before anything happens to him. Because that's the thing is it's not it's like people not understanding that you have these people that are a reason why child trafficking, child abuse, sex offenders still maintain their fucking ability to do these things. Because you have people that either didn't say anything about it, stayed quiet about it, or lied about it. So these people are still fucking pedophiles. So you had somebody that either covered for them, lied for them, or was doing the shit with them. So basically, a person that should be through the fucking jail or should be arrested didn't get to go through that. Why? Because the person either lied about the situation so that they wouldn't get in trouble, but then the victim is still the victim. And then the problem is the victim may not even remember most of the shit that happened to him because it's called PTSD. And the craziest thing to me is it's just like nobody wants to talk about that part. When was the last time you heard PTSD come out from any one of these victims or any one of these fucking people? Because they don't want PTSD to be attributed to that because that's a traumatic fucking incident. They just want to make it seem like you only get PTSD because you served in combat in the military. But that is a traumatic event that they have to deal with the rest of their life. That man don't give a shit, but that's the thing these politicians. I I want to say something black, but I can't say it online. In regards to your statement, because they already restrict me, so I already. But you know what I'm. You probably know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I was just like, that's the thing. I was just like, you doing this to people, right? You did this, and that's why this administration doesn't have any care for what they're doing to people right now when they're snatching them off the street. Because the thing is they do this to kids. They don't care about the kids. They doing this to kids because who's not gonna be traumatized by the fact that their parents got snatched away? Matter of fact, who doesn't get radicalized by having their parents snatched away? I was just like, but that's the environment we in right now. That we have people in control that ain't doing shit for the actual American people, ain't fixing nothing, and it's just a big fucking turmoil where it's just people being traumatized for the events that are ongoing, and nothing is coming out of it. What's up, Emma? I was like, you got people across the fucking country that's more concerned with fucking dumb shit than it is actually protecting the kids. Exactly, political, because that's one of the biggest things. If pedophiles are being protected right now, then the thing is you're gonna have more victims that don't want to speak out. Because those victims are not gonna want to speak out because they know, look at what's going on with the victims that are out there now. The victims are telling their story and people don't want to believe them. So imagine this continues. It's just basically to try to set it up that way so that people keep on doing it. And that way you don't have people actually speaking out on it. That's the biggest thing because the thing is if you don't do nothing to these people, then that shows like, oh well, these people are just gonna keep getting away with it. And what does that mean? That means that the people that are doing this shit are gonna get bolder. That's all it means. They're gonna get bolder. Shit, well, these people ain't getting arrested, so I probably won't get arrested either. Then they're gonna try to do even more dumb shit. It's like, and that's the problem with this society right now. Nobody, since nothing is happening, because the thing is just like, hey, nobody wants to end up in jail. Nobody wants to end up in jail right now, and I understand. I understand that fully. Nobody wants to end up in jail or dead. I understand that fully, but it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna happen. It's gonna get to a point where it's gonna happen. Because the thing is it's already March. We got a couple of months till November, and look at the dumb shit that these people manage to do continuously, month after month after month. I was like, now you got shit happening in Mexico. You want to fucking start a war with Iran. You want to invade Greenland. You snatched the fucking president from Venezuela. Like, bro, what? I was just like, what was the craziest shit that happened during fucking Biden's administration? What was the craziest shit that happened with Biden? I'm trying to think now. I can't even, you know how bad it is that I can't even think. Biden had 4 whole fucking years, and I can't think of fucking moments like this that is just consecutively just happening. Well, it was just a shit show the whole time. Was it a shit show? Yes. But a shit show that led us more towards war and starting another world war or starting more conflicts. I don't remember them doing that. I remember Biden's bitch ass support in Israel. I do remember that shit. That shit I didn't forget. But this administration is doing the same, so it's just like, oh, y'all haven't changed. Why you say that, Soggy? I don't know what this administration like my thing is what's the fucking end game to all this shit? What is the end game to all this shit? Because the thing is just like, and now the thing is also look at what they're doing to Cuba, that they're stopping the oil from getting to Cuba. It's like one by one they are trying to destroy. The whole Cuba thing, I don't even know too much about either. I just heard that they were just like stopping the shipments there of oil to so they're starving them with oil and not letting them get oil into the country, which is something that gets imported over there. Um I was like Mexico finally gets the Sagi the whole well yeah. Oh, that's what you're talking about the CIA. There, yeah. The whole Mexico thing, that one is just like for somebody to go after the cartels like that, it has to be something planned. That doesn't just happen coincidentally. That doesn't just happen out of the blue. Unless it was a rival cartel doing it. That I see what you're saying, Sagi. But that's what it is because to cause that turmoil. Because the thing is you got to remember when it comes to any of these conflicts, most of the time it's the U.S. backing somebody to fucking try to do a coup or something like that to take over. So somebody probably got into one of the fucking people in the fucking cartel, like, yo, we'll do this, we'll supply you with this, you take over, you in charge, we dealing with you. The cartels have been there in place for way too long. But that's the thing, Sagi. Everywhere is funded by the U.S. I was like, have you ever seen the Nicolas Cage movie, The Lord of War? That explains it the best. That's the best fucking showcase of what can happen. Lord of War. If you haven't seen that movie, watch it. And then you understand how it is that these people do this shit. The armed conflict is the armed conflict, but it's still fucking money. They sell to both sides. They don't care. No, but I've seen Lord of the Rings. If you can watch Lord of War, that's one of I like that movie a lot. Nicolas Cage movie. I love that movie because it shows like the intricacies of what it is. It's him being a weapons dealer. And then as a weapons dealer, he shows how he goes through and how he did it to basically fund. I think you know the movie that they did not the dude. Remember was it Biden I think that traded the fucking Russian dude? What's the one movie of his with a plan? Is that Con Air? I think that's Con Air. I think that's Con Air. Take T. I was just like, yeah, but that was done. Yeah, so it's basically, but that's the thing. The thing you got to realize, Sagi, also is that the cartel didn't get taken down. What's up, Ty? The cartel didn't get taken down. The head of cartel just got taken out. That's it. There's nothing that doesn't stop shit. All you have second in line, third in line, fourth in line. Somebody else is gonna step in and they're gonna do it. And that's how it always is with that. It was just like you've seen enough damn movies. The shit isn't so far fetched. There's always a lineup of who's going to be next, and then somebody's gonna take the position, and it's either gonna be, hey, you're gonna do the same deals that you were doing before, or you're gonna go opposite and go against it, and then you might have more craziness. That's how it always is with that shit. That's how it always is with it. It doesn't. That shit never changes. It never fucking changes. I was just like the cartels have been in Mexico for who knows how long. They've been doing this for fucking decades. The same way the fucking narcos, I think what is it? Yeah, but that's the thing they learn not to eat each other because somebody benefits from it. I was just like, you think that these people that like the was it, the Nicaragua and all that shit, all that remember that fucking president that got fucking pardoned? I was like, you think that wasn't on purpose that they had this dude funneling money? He just had to, they need a fall guy. So it always is. You always have a fall guy. For this whole Epstein list, the fall guy is Epstein. And then you got people saying that they've seen him in Israel, and then you got just Lane Maxwell supposedly in Canada. You need a fall person. You need somebody to be like, yo, I need you to be the one that says you got in trouble so that people think it doesn't happen anymore or it's not real. That's what it usually is, and that's the continuation that we'll continue to do. Because right now, your fall guy is Epstein. You're gonna see. Look, you saw Prince Andrew got arrested. That was a shock to me. I was surprised. I was actually surprised at that. That Sagi, that's too woke for people. That's too woke. You talking woke stuff. You talking woke stuff. Star Wars, the Rebel Army. That's woke. Way too woke. Can't be doing things like that, Sagi. That's way too woke. Disney, way too woke. They've been teaching you this shit the whole fucking time. Way too woke. Is that a Birdman fucking picture? Yo, my man got the Birdman fucking thick avatar. Thick. Shout out to Bird Drib. Shout out, man. Birdman was a legend. That was a legend. My man has the Birdman fucking thing. That's a throwback. Birdman is a throwback. But that's the thing. It's just like it's going through these situations and seeing these situations. That's what it is. That's how most of these things are. But people ain't doing shit about it. It's difficult to do something about it without going to jail. I was like, look, you just had another person get executed by the police. Wherever I forget what place it is. I forget the guy's name. I didn't want to watch too much because it's Dude was already on the floor with his hand ties behind his back. Dog was chewing on him, and then the dude shot him 3 times. And then they tried to hit everybody with the what award show was it that this dude supposedly used the N word when 2 guys would just happened there and he just happened to have Tourette's? It's like these people are trying to like I don't know what the country's coming to, y'all. I really don't. Be mindful of what? What is it to be mindful of? It ain't shit to be mindful anymore. I'm tired of being mindful of this, mindful of that. Everybody's trying to use some sort of excuse for some bullshit. Everybody trying to find an excuse to make to use to. It's always a fucking excuse. Never fucking holding people accountable. I was just like, nah, bro. You said the N word. You didn't have no tick the whole fucking night, but then. But you know, another distraction to get people riled up off of the wrong shit. Got to make sure black people don't get angry at the fact that another another young black man was found hung, another young black man was shot, another young black man was executed, another young black man. All this, they just want to make sure that black people stay under the somebody said the N word. You give a fuck if somebody said the N word. Should they get punched in the mouth? Yes. But there's people getting killed. They ain't even use the N word. I could give a damn about saying something. If you actually taking the life of people, it's a whole different fucking scenario. It's a whole different thing. But that's the one way to get you fucking pissed off about something that isn't important about it. Nah, I don't want to hear about reparations and none of that shit. I was just like, what do you think reparations is really gonna bring? I was like, people be like, we need our reparations. What is it gonna bring? I was like, it don't matter if people get reparations if they're gonna fucking destroy the fucking place that you get the reparations to. Remember all these fucking black towns that got fucking destroyed? Or they became a fucking lake? That was basically reparations, but then they ended up fucking destroying it. So it don't matter if you ask for reparations if nothing's gonna happen to stop them from fucking destroying it. Black Wall Street was thriving without them. And what happened? They didn't want that shit. They gave people their land. They get was like, yeah, reparations ain't gonna do nothing. Reparations is not gonna do nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm like. It's not gonna do anything for it. You're gonna get your money. They're gonna tax it on it, and then after they tax it, they're gonna find another tax to keep doing it so that you keep on making it less and less. I was like, nah. It was just like I understand. I understand. I understand. But reparations isn't gonna do anything. Reparations is not going to alleviate what these people did during slavery. There's no repayment for that. There is no repayment for that. There just isn't. Because what's the point? Like, what's the point of reparations if you still gonna have these fucking racists out there? That's fine, Saga. You better find a way to do it. Better go ask the cartel for a job or some shit, cause you know they ain't give shit. You can't even get your $2,000 in refund check. What makes you think they gonna pay? You've been getting robbed by terrorists right now. You think these people gonna give money? Come on now. Let's be serious now. Let's be serious. Been waiting on a fucking tax refund. Been waiting on all that shit now. No, no. Sorry. It's just not gonna happen that way. There's not gonna be no such thing as reparations. And if you and if you're under the delusion that you're actually gonna receive some reparations from this administration or in this country, not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Just not. That's not even a topic that should be part of the conversation anymore. I was just like, you gonna have reparations with what? Racists? What are you doing? You getting reparations for what? For you to get gunned down? For you to still be racially profiled? For you to still be the majority in fucking jail? Nah, no. I'm sorry. Reparations means fucking nothing. It means nothing. The people there's certain conversations that people don't want to have and people just want to leave alone. I was just like, that's one conversation I was just like, I'm willing to have. I was just like, that's no. No. Reparations is pointless. The same way it is with this Epstein list. It's fucking pointless if nobody gets arrested. Saga, you ain't gonna do nothing. What you gonna stake him for? You think he gonna think you gonna get him votes? You think he's actually gonna pay you? He'll tell you. He'll give you that 500K or that 50K or whatever you ask for after you get him votes. And then you know what he gonna do? He gonna deport you to the president of Puerto Rico. He gonna deport you to the president of Puerto Rico and have him give you the money. Come on, Saga, you already know that. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it is. You know you ain't gonna get paid. Look at have you not seen all of these fucking dumbass Latino fucking MAGA that have been deported after they were kissing his ass? Which the crazy thing to me is, right? You know what somebody never says, right? How is it that you mean to tell me there was no fucking voter fraud within the Republican Party, but all the people that have been campaigning for Donald Trump that were fucking Hispanic and shit are all getting deported? I don't find that odd. All these people is like vote Trump, all getting deported. And you mean to tell me you ain't have no fraud? Republicans ain't have no fraud. But you had nothing but all these fucking Hispanics parading, vote Trump, vote Trump. They couldn't even fucking vote. For Donald Donald Trump. That's just great. It's you see what I'm saying? All these people that were parading, talking about, oh my God, vote Donald Trump. I'm voting for Donald Trump. How the fuck you voted for Donald Trump if you got deported? The Kansas mayor who's Republican, but now is found to be undocumented. I heard about that, Emma. I'm just saying, how you mean to tell me there was no fraud? And that's why I think they raided that Georgia fucking thing because of the fraud that they committed. Because imagine this that it came out that Elon Musk sent pre filled out mail in ballots. That's what you call fraud. How come you don't have Nick Shirley in Florida? Why isn't Nick Shirley in Florida, Republicans? MAGA? Or in Georgia? Why ain't he there? Why doesn't MAGA have Nick Shirley investigate? Bro, that dude is stupid as fuck. Nick Shirley is one dumb motherfucker. Dumb. If you believe in Nick Shirley, you a dumb motherfucker too. That's it. I'm not sugarcoating that shit no more. If you believe in Nick Shirley, you a dumb motherfucker. Yes, TikTok, you can fucking restrict me for fucking supposedly bullying because I'm speaking the truth on Nick Shirley being a fucking dumbass. And whoever was the bitch that decided to report me, you're a bitch too. The fucking stupidity. Oh, just like, how the fuck? Oh my God, there's voter fraud going on in this thing, and they're all registered at UPS. It's a residential building, bro. This is what happens when you take somebody from the Midwest, middle of fucking bumfuck nowhere, that lives in a one fucking story fucking home, never seen fucking apartment buildings, never seen or lived in a place that has apartments or has fucking actual commercial entities on the bottom floor and then apartments above, and you have this dumbass coming out here talking about, oh my God, there's like 30 things. I digress. I digress. I got a little excited. I'm sorry. And now, wow, so I got restricted for bullying and harassment, and now I got flagged for misinformation. First, they restricted me because I was bullying and harassing. Now I just got restricted, and now I have to check my live. Imagine that. Now I have to put my live and check to make sure that my live is there, and it's not letting me verify. Live visibility again restricted for 10 minutes for misinformation. How I got bro, I got two restrictions. I got one live visibility restricted for 10 minutes for bullying. I got another restriction for 10 minutes for misinformation. I was like, yeah, somebody's definitely assigned to me. They definitely have somebody watching. Because everything I said was factual. Because that UPS building that Nick Shirley went to is at the bottom of a residential building. If you've ever lived, bro, 227 Seymour Appeal. Yeah. Well then, Everybody on TikTok is like, what the fuck? It was just like, so that alone shows you the censoring that these people are trying to do, that basically they don't want the truth to be exposed. Because look how simple it was for them to try to and basically label me as misinformation, shut down my live due to the fact that I was explaining the lie that Nick Shirley has been trying to portray and trying to state that he has millions of views doing. Because literally, if you are a residential building, most of the time the first floor is used as a commercial building, as commercial dwellings. Why? Because that means that even if they don't get the rent from the residential buildings up top, they will receive them from the rent of that company. So UPS is always going to pay because UPS is a big enough corporation to pay, but the rest of the people that live there still live there. It's crazy how this app has gone to so much shit and gone through all the propaganda. Oh, they approved it. Let me see. Can I go back live again? That's what I know. That's how I know. So I can go back live again. That's how I know that this app is just basically people just deciding to fucking, it's people just deciding to literally report me because of the fact that they don't like that I'm telling the truth. They are so upset at the fact that their belief system is being so fucking ridiculed and so badly fucking interpreted that they don't understand that shit. Cause the thing is you just had these people fucking ban me, shut my shit off. I appealed it, and I just basically said like, "You seen that, Emma? Did you just see that shit?" I just literally got banned for telling the fucking truth. And then these people decided to fuck. I just put, you know what I put on my appeal? I put on my appeal that I was basically explaining how fucking residential buildings have usually a commercial dwelling on the bottom when there's a fucking bigger city. Because small cities don't have that. Small cities barely have multi story fucking apartments because it's mostly homes. So they don't have a dwelling that has a commercial entity at the bottom and then the fucking residential on the top. So that's why I said Nick Shirley was a fucking dumbass. And then these people wanted to fucking report me for it. Like, you know what it is to try to report somebody because of the fact that your ignorance is like that fucking strong? Your stupidity in belief is that powerful and that thoughtful that you thought that just stopping me from talking was gonna stop the truth. Look, they already Emma, again, they already restricted my life. Imagine the fact that you have to explain to people that people are being lied to and you are being reported because people don't like the fact that you being lied to. It was like that's the thing with TikTok. Why are you sending me these people to my live? You know I don't talk to Republicans. You know I don't talk to MAGA. Why would you send them to my lives? You send the people that you know are going to report me because you need to find a way to silence me. So you send people here that I don't talk to, don't fuck with, just so that I can tell them the truth and they can be mad at the fact that I'm telling them the truth. Because that was clear as day, me explaining why Nick Shirley was a fraud, why he was lying, how the information he was trying to portray was wrong, and it was in the simplest of ways. Like I said, if you haven't before, follow me on YouTube, watch me on YouTube, because the thing is the problem I have is that this app right now is trying to get me to stop talking. So by doing so, by restricting me, not pushing my lives and doing that, they're enabling the fact that I can't reach more people to have them listen to the truth. But it's okay though. They basically just, I see it says right now it's just 5 people. It says 5 people, and most of the time it's people I've never seen before. And most of the time it's bot accounts. So when I see these bot accounts, I know that most of these accounts ain't real people. So it's somebody that TikTok is probably having watch me, or they have a bot account that as soon as I say something, they want to trigger in and restrict me. Because look, I already got a restriction. I just restarted my live after an appeal that was clearly a lie. Because the thing is imagine the appeal went through so fast because they know I didn't fucking say anything that they say. The appeal went so quickly that because they knew it was a lie. They knew that they were mass reporting me, or somebody was reporting me on some bullshit. Fuck is our cue? What is it? It's just crazy to me to have that shit fucking happen that way. Yeah, once it, because the thing is all I said, I kept saying Nick Shirley said he was a dumbass and said he was lying. And then I proved why he was lying. So they probably have, and that's the thing. AI is running most of this app now because the thing is that they want to use something that's triggering. If I'm saying something that's against MAGA, that triggers a bot because then they want to say, "Oh, it's bullying." No, I'm calling out the truth on the lies that MAGA keeps on spreading. And now that's the thing. Now I was getting more people in here, but then once they hit me with a restriction, that causes me not to have my live pushed out to more people. So instead of it being the usual, people being pushed over here, a bunch of people, they restrict it so my live doesn't go out to people. So now I'm gonna be live for another 5 minutes. I won't get my shit pushed where I only have 22 total views now. That's how come I haven't been gaining followers. I haven't been gaining anything on TikTok lately because they keep on doing the same thing. I keep on getting restricted every single fucking live I have. And then the videos I post don't get any traction. Imagine this, Emma. I had my video, one of the ones I posted yesterday, had 58 fucking shares. 58. This shit only had 258 views. So my shit got reposted 58 fucking times out of 258 views. And you mean to tell me my video isn't catching enough traction? That 58 people decided to fucking repost it? That's what it is. They wanna filter the people that basically spell out the truth against MAGA and Republicans. They want to start minimizing them and they want them off the app because they just want this to become a Republican cesspool like Facebook is. Because if you go onto Facebook, it's the same fucking thing. If you go onto Facebook, all you see is Republicans pushing the same bullshit or MAGA pushing the same bullshit. Imagine the fact that on Facebook, I've muted accounts and the accounts come back because they keep on pushing the same rhetoric, the same lie. It's something to basically try to incite anger within a group because they're too stupid to realize what's actually being told to them. Because California doesn't have voter fraud. The funniest thing about all this voter fraud talk is the Heritage Foundation, you know, the Project 2025 writers, they themselves conducted shit like studies and stuff like that. And I believe they said that it was like 158 counts of voter fraud since 2020. The Heritage Foundation found this out. They did a study and they only found 158 cases of it since 2020. So you mean to tell me there was never voter fraud? It's never been voter fraud. Because the thing is if there was voter fraud, that means that you would be able to show where the fraud was. You would be able to show the votes of people that didn't vote or that legally weren't voting. Because like I said, how come red states ain't being done that? Because the thing is you have all these Republicans that were, you know, parading for Donald Trump. And then all you keep seeing in the news is, oh, so-and-so, this person just got deported. The vote Trump people in red that were Hispanic were talking about vote for Trump and they weren't even citizens? But Nick Shirley knows what he's talking about. Nick Shirley's the go-to person when you've already seen that Nick Shirley cannot provide factual information. Nick Shirley already showed you that he went to a daycare center that was operational, but he went to the back door. And this is what you call investigative reporting? This is what you're basing your information on? Like, come on now. It's like TikTok is just full of shit, man. TikTok is just trying to make sure people don't get fucking that knowledge so that the thing is the shit that makes sense and the shit that explains the lies, they don't want that to be publicized. They don't want that to be pushed out. They don't want that. They want stuff that's going to have their mega cult to listen to everything they say. Because the thing is if you don't have people like me speaking against it and speaking facts, then they don't have anything to go against, even though they dumbasses isn't gonna fucking listen to me anyway. So why would you push these people towards me? I was like, I haven't been a MAGA supporter or a MAGA person in who knows how fucking long. Why would you send them to my lives? I still don't understand that. Why would you send people that you know don't listen to me, people I don't talk to my lives? That shit just made no sense to me. It just makes no sense. But that's whatever. Whatever. It is whatever. We're just gonna leave it at that, y'all. But that way, I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep doing what I can. But this app is like all these social media apps is trash. TikTok is trash. Facebook is trash. YouTube at least fucking just lets you watch what you want to watch. So I don't have a problem. Even though I know YouTube is Republican, YouTube is just like, yo, you watch what you want to watch. We're going to show you what you've been watching. We don't give a fuck of how you feel. You've been watching this. This is what we're going to show you. Twitch is just like, yo, bro, just game, bro. We don't give a fuck. Just game. TikTok is the only one that was just like, you start talking, I was like, oh no, we gotta censor this guy. Facebook is just like, oh, we gotta make it a cesspool, so you know. fuck? What did I do now? Now it's misinformation. What the fuck? Again. Ah, I don't like. I don't even. I don't even. That's just funny. Keep on getting reported. It's funny to be fucking mass reported and mass reported and mass reported for some shit that is just like you're not even fucking saying. Imagine reporting because imagine being mass reported for the fact that that's funny. I'm being mass reported for the fact that I am speaking on some shit. I'm talking about imagine being mass reported because you're talking about your own platforms. You ever had that before? You ever had that happen? You get mass reported because you're talking about your own other platforms and how the other platforms be doing shit. You ever had that? Yeah, man. That's the first for me. I've gotten banned two times in a matter of 15 minutes. Not even 15 minutes. I've been banned two times in a matter of 15 minutes. Like that's crazy. That's wild. It was just like, you know what? Some people just don't want you to be successful. And that's what you have to realize. Some people just don't want you to be successful. Some people don't want you to be successful. Because the thing is it makes them look bad, makes them look inadequate, makes them look like you wasting time. I understand that now. I understand that. It's cool. It's cool. The only thing that's gonna hurt is themselves because they want to be naive and they want to be ignorant towards the fact that they're not dealing with these situations and they're not doing it. And look again, this one was not approved. Yeah, this one is not approved. So yeah, that makes it a lot simpler. But that's just basically the talking point. That is just like the censorship on these platforms is getting ridiculous. Because the thing is you are going off of misinformation, but then the fact that you have content creators on here that are MAGA affiliated or Republican affiliated, and they choose to basically lie through their fucking teeth, but that continues to be allowed. So the fact that you can't say what you have to on TikTok is a big influence on the fact that this is the propaganda that they want to push. It's not even propaganda, they just want to silence the other side because of the fact that the more you expose them for their fallacies, their bullshit, and their lies, they can't take it. They don't like it. They get upset at that. They get mad at the fact that when you are speaking the truth, they can't seem to understand it. But like I said, some people just don't want you to succeed because they want to make it that you're the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I'm the one that's not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm the one that's not, I'm the one that's not believing or not listening to the rhetoric that these people want to push out. But it's okay though. We'll we'll move from here. We'll continue from there. Um, But yeah, this will be it's a nice awakening to realize that some people just want you to fail. Some people just want you to fail. And the thing is once those people get let go of, once those people disappear out your life, once those people are there, you're still gonna succeed. Still gonna succeed. Whether a person wants to support it or not, I'm still gonna succeed. So you can continue with your ways, you continue to be pieces of shit, it's gonna catch up to you. Cause it's gonna add up and it's gonna be found and it's gonna be noticed and it's gonna be realized. But I'll leave it at that, y'all. We'll continue this on a we'll continue this on another day. Probably tonight or something. But people will have a rude awakening. Let's hope it comes to them soon. As always, be good to one another, take care of one another, look out for one another, love one another, stay marvelous while doing it, y'all. I'm just Cruz. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.